Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Meta HSE Valorant, and now finally your long-awaited grand finals of the Nationals playoffs. Who else would it rather be than Eviction Notice versus Rangitoto College, all the way from New Zealand? I'm Digital Cast, and of course my co-caster with me has Daddy Slim Shady himself.
Yes, it is I, the Mr. Slim Shady, has of daddies and the slim of all shacks. And we are back here with our grand finals to finish this one off. We're going to be starting on Icebox, where it is going to be the fellows over at Rangitoto College, going to be on the attacking side. Meanwhile, it is going to be the defending side of the Glen Waverley boys as Eviction Notice look to continue what looked like a pretty solid showing on their last map there of Icebox, knocking off the guys over on the St. Joseph's, I should say the St. John's side of things, as they drop them down to the lower bracket where they will be currently playing probably Valorant to see if they can keep themselves in that competition to go through to the lower bracket finals in next week's games. But we have to worry about now. And finally, we have ourselves a best of three as well, Digital. Enough of the best of ones, another one maps. Here we are. There's three of them to go through.
Finally, well, look, dude, it's only fitting for grand finals to be a best of three. You don't want to be, doing a best of one for grand finals because, upset potentials are rife in those situations. Now, the teams are just going through the vetoes briefly to finish things off, but it seems they do seem ready real soon. We'll just get confirmation in just a bit. But like you said earlier, we know that Eviction Notice, Glen Waverley College, they played well. But then again, I don't think they were fully tested to the extent of their abilities. This team, however, from Rangitoto College in New Zealand, I can tell you right off the bat, one or two names are familiar. Toby especially, right? Back when I casted a lot of LPL Valorant, he actually played for two teams, and the last time I casted him was a few months ago, but if memory serves me right, he wasn't a bad performer, but at the very least, he has league experience.
That's true. And also, his side is actually the captain of Infamous Esports we were checking out just before. They're actually sitting third in the open division of LPL and Valorant at the moment, which isn't too bad at all, considering there is up to about 60 teams competing in that division, being in the top 3, top 10 even, is sitting pretty nicely. But the here and now is that they're on themselves with their own high scores, looking to get the job done here. And, I mean, a lot of these guys, I feel, we haven't seen a lot of the New Zealand... In fact, we haven't casted any of the New Zealand games, so we're coming in a bit blind to this one about what these guys are going to be offering over on the side of the guys of Rangitoto College. But I'm assuming they've got some pretty decent skills with them, considering they've made their way all to the grand final of its round robin, and to put themselves as the number one seed, they all have the opportunity to do that one, as it looks like the picks are going to start coming in. And again, what do you think? Do we think we're going to see what same thing that what happened that last map there from the Glen Waverley side? I mean, they had that pretty solid. Just the one attacker, the four sort of like key ones, and they've already gone very early on the attacking ones there as damn, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, damn, just like that. It was like 10 seconds, gone, done, pew. Easy as you like.
Well, I can tell you right now, I like what I'm seeing from Rangitoto College. That's a very meta composition for Icebox. Double duelist, Sova, Sage, and Viper. That's perfect. A lot of top teams play this, and for a reason. It just works for Icebox. That's all you can say. Obviously, it's crucial that Greenie on Viper stays alive most of the time, because having that Viper util up as your sole source of smokes is useful. On the flip side, though, for Eviction Notice, Glen Waverley, looking to run the exact same setup. One thing I want to mention, though, in the previous game they played, I don't really think their Killjoy had that much impact, because in my opinion, if you play defense on Icebox with Killjoy, the best scenario is you have Killjoy situated over towards mid, because your turret can spot out mid from generator, and as well as a alarm bot can basically watch the kitchen tubes, etc. And then you can place your nanoswarms one over towards the B site to buy time to deny the plant, or save your second and for a post-plant situation, or place it wherever you wish. But then again, that's just my opinion. Both teams have locked in their agents, and Erasna on the sky again. It's a little bit of a I wouldn't say unorthodox, but different composition from Glen Waverley. But hey, my eyes are on Rangitoto College for this game.
That's true. They're the team that we know, well, very little about. A few of their players we do know have been competing in some of the amateur sides of Valorant across the New Zealand scene, so hopefully they can get some stuff done here. As we get ready to start our one-off here, it's of course going to be the Eviction Notice guys starting on the defensive. Meanwhile, it is going to be Rangitoto College starting on that attacking side. And already it looks like a couple of ghosts coming through there for Toby and also Foxy, or F1XY. I'm going to say Foxy for that one. I'm just going to guess it's Foxy. Maybe they're part of the F1 Drivers Committee. I don't know. We'll have to ask them after the game, as both teams now look like it's going to be a frenzy pick as well. They're for Lazy. Meanwhile, it's just classics across the board with some armor, and then also another frenzy coming through for Resna. So it looks like they want to get some couple of quick kills, especially if they land those shots, because we know how deadly the frenzy can be if it's in the right hands.
It's interesting for Erasna opting to buy a rifle, no armor, and invest in a flash. I would have liked to see Sky use the overgrowth a little bit more on pistol rounds, because the heal, it really comes in clutch, especially in the first round of things. Well, the attack coming up from Rangitoto College, really slow and steady. They got some damage done over towards A, as a whole team as well, just poking and prodding. Confirmed there were 2 players over towards A, and the instant rotation over towards B, in which there's Killjoy util and a defensive Viper wall. But there comes the attacker's Viper wall on B, and the attack about to start real soon. Potentially another 5v5 post plant early on.
They're going straight in towards it here. It's Granny holding towards that back angle. Meanwhile, on towards the side, it's going to be Toby trying to get close there. McAshy throwing up the ball and should be able to get that spike down. So we're looking at a 5v5 retake as it goes. And now it just all comes down to whether or not Eviction Notice can break through onto this retake and allow that one to go down. There's a wall going up there as well from Iconic as they look to push through. Greenery still holding the back. No one's really coming towards their position, but it has that grenade lined up that's going to land should on the bomb. It actually picks up his shot as well, so it's going to make it even more difficult. That one lands right there as well. Robley from Gritty. In fact, it takes down Ryan. And Foxy gets on getting those ones back and forth, and all of a sudden just left on Lazy in a 1v3. The Decay already putting him down to 8 HP. He's already on low enough to begin with. Has that frenzy, but not really much they can do as another one lands on the ground as well. Trying to find anything here. Gets some shots on the World Cat on, but he finishes it off there, and that's going to be the round there to the fellas. Over on Rangitoto, they just get that one done as easy as you like. Hold it off, get the plant, and 3 players surviving. Not too bad at all.
I gotta say, already right off the bat, I like what I'm seeing from Rangitoto College. That was a very disciplined B-side take. They took the site. The wall came up, the Viper wall as well as the Sage wall to secure the spike plant, and then everyone backs off, but they still maintain some site control over towards yellow. And basically, they were fighting the players, leaving the Viper to watch the flank early on, so in case a defender decides to go for the long way around. But also from that angle, he can throw his post plant lineups, and there was the Sage wall as well, which is usually used to actually bounce the snake bites off of it. It didn't happen though. And then afterwards, once he uses both of his snake bites, that's when he rotates over towards mid to pinch the defenders once again from a separate angle. And right now, going to this second round, it's just an anti-eco farm coming out from Rangitoto College. This should be so easy. They're swarming over the side, playing together as a team. But Ryan does manage to take one down, although I don't think he's long for this world. He's by himself in this angle. His teammate soon to join him, but still quite a ways away.
Planted.
He's hot, the last one coming over as well, as it's left up to these two to get something done. He does have the shorty close. We managed to get on this angle. Might be able to land a bit of damage. He does. Can't quite pick up the kill though. And again, just a bit too far away to get anything meaningful done there. As Toby gets Ryan, Foxy finishes off his hot. And that is going to be the second round on the board. Again, you're up against the pistols. You try and get that one across as easy as possible. Sometimes you're going to have a couple of teams falling into the trap where they try and go a bit too hard, and maybe there's pistols waiting from around the corner in a stack. Not to be there, and now it should be 2 full buys coming across most. Well, a full buy here for Eviction Notice, and it's going to be that half eco one. Just keep what they have. Greenery has picked up a nice little, extend. It's not quite the main rifle. It's not quite the Spectre, so it's something nicely in between there for Greeny. As they look to try and pick up a third round here. Meanwhile, it's going to be Eviction Notice trying to hold this one off and pick up their first round as they try to stop this bonus coming through.
Oh, Erasmus, once again, despite being on Sky, he's the one more often than not getting these first bloods in some situations for Eviction Notice. But however, despite being on the bonus round, the attackers, they run onto the site. There's that perfect Sage wall, the spike to go down, and they are going to play post plant. Shock darts and snake bites already lined up. Rangitoto College, they have set plays. It's looking good. Well, Lazy, point blank, he's the one to make the first contact, takes down McAshy. However, he's not fully checking the corner, but it doesn't matter. Erasmus takes down Toby. They're being very disciplined right now, checking all these close angles, and that's such a perfect angle, sneaking through a cloud burst. And he does go down to Greedy, but High Shot was there with the judge to trade out. There's a few shock darts left, but it doesn't matter. Katon just gets pumped away. And the defenders, they do take the round. They lost 2 rifles, but hey, they win at least.
And they take it when they needed to. And you're up against that bonus of Spectres, and they managed to get it across. They saved the 3 rifles as well, so now Eviction Notice can look to get themselves. Again, with a sort of buy here, Iconic and Lazy are going to be a bit short on their end. There will be at least a Phantom buy across there for Lazy. Iconic going to stick with the Spectre. Meanwhile, it's the first full gun round for both teams here. As Rangitoto get that one across, we've got 3 Phantoms and the Vandals plenty of armor, half on Ashy, but all the utility cross, and this is a big round to sort of even this one up if Eviction want to get that 2-2, keep things even, or if it's the guys on Rangitoto can get that 2-round advantage and then start to roll with that in towards these later rounds here.
Yeah, this is the true test of well, I'll cut off right there as Iconic just swings the angle, takes down Fixie. I was going to say the true test of Glen and Waverley, because now they're the ones with a slightly weaker buy versus a full buy on Rangitoto, but somehow, despite being on a Spectre, Iconic gets a second lazy chimes in as well. This round's falling apart. It's crucial that Rangitoto wins their first buy round, but it's being picked off. Greeny, 1v5, good start, gets a second. Now this is it. This could be a snowball. The spike is still out of his control, and he's getting pinched from 3 angles at once, but at the same time, it means he can potentially get 3 1v1 situations.
This lazy looking for him here. Does manage to spot him out. Not much you can do, and Rizner's already low on HP as well, so there is an opportunity. The Spike Box is down, 48 seconds, tries to come out there towards Lazy. Can't quite hit the shots right now, and Lazy going to tempt them down, finish it off. And that is going to be the second round there to Eviction Notice. Very solid, just won every single 1v1 to start off that one. All the ones that came across, they got into duels and they went bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. And just like that, it's all tied up, and it means that the guys over on Rangitoto are going to be a bit short on cash here, as it looks like Katon might pick up the Spectre, even a Stinger on Toby, but not going to be a very huge buy. Going to be a lot of sacrifices across the board, at least half armor. So if they can try and get a couple of early kills, it look like they'll be heading towards mid, try and get into these angles, and maybe try and get a spike plant at least out of this to be pretty happy with it. Meanwhile, Eviction looking to pick up round at number 3.
Standing ahead.
Yeah, Eviction noticed. Look, it's good on them for winning that round, but I don't really think that Rangitoto should have lost it at all, especially considering the buy they had. High shot starting things off, and Fixie, yeah, I mean, he wasn't creating space, but he just gets gunned down. And this is a common mistake from players who are trying to take B-side through mid. You have to be wary of that angle, or else there's too many angles to cover. You have to cover B-side, you have to cover through that little tunnel, and then you also have to cover kitchen. It's too much to keep an eye on. That's why when you place your smokes, right, even your poison orbs, you have to choose very carefully. You can't just ape through mid towards B and seeing pro teams do it. Hey, we can do it too. It's not quite how it works, and that's why it's a very risky strat. Sometimes it works out, but more often than not, it doesn't. And that's the second time now across the past 2 games on Icebox in which we've seen Iconic abuse that angle and get a multi-kill.
Yeah, there's a hole in that wall. They should really patch that up. I don't think anyone's actually realised that it's there. Apart from Iconic, who picks up a nice little 2k through it. And then we now move into round number 6, and this is another gun round for both teams here. Problem is for Rangitoto, if they go down here, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy into the next round after that, because they're already sitting on pretty low credits. So they need to make sure they can get some early picks here. They don't want to be losing these fights. And then 1v1s they had it beforehand, as it look like they want to be getting towards this A side, already grouping up the back towards there. That's where the spike is heading. They're going to be running into Lazy and also the Killjoy of his hot. So a lot of stuff just lying on side here. The grenades, the sentry, everything that they're waiting for here. It's not going to be throwing out, looking for someone there, but Lazy already picked up the first on the Greenie. And also the ult coming out here as well from Iconic, trying to keep that one down so they don't get towards the side. Lazy getting spanned down a bit and he goes through, but Toby holding that angle pretty nicely. 4v4. Now they look to try and go Elmer's back out. And Greeny will actually get revived. So now they've got a chance here. The numbers advantage. The smoke integrity falling away as they look to sort of just back off and go back towards the B side now, where it looks like Ryan has rotated across and maybe even go through mid, catch them off. And if they hear this and a few players rotating here from Eviction Notice, they might have a chance to even rotate back to A, but it looks like they are going to commit fully towards that B.
30 seconds
they have
left.
a man advantage right now for Rangitoto College. And look at these lineups, man. Oh, it's marvelous. They've done their homework. And leaving a Reyna lurking over towards mid, this is Rangitoto's round to lose. High shot doesn't check the angle, and this is perfect. That Reyna can honestly strike from mid right now. There you go. First kill. Toby gets one, but McAshy going for the spike plant a little bit late. Iconic burns them down, but now time is running thin, but it's okay. 4v2, 4v1 now. Toby's on an absolute tear. Gets a triple, and he's just pinching Erasna. Nothing he could do. Quad feed for Toby, finishing off the last kill with the classic of all guns. And they tie things up 3-3.
Erasna almost got away with that as well, because there was only 2 seconds left on the clock. If he just had a better place to hide away into, he could have actually held it out there, and there could have been a round win there for Eviction Notice, but a well-played one there from Rangitoto. They get the bomb. Well, actually, they never got the spike planted, but they get all the kills that they needed, and now They've got themselves another buy-in, but of course, winning that round, they do lose a few players, means the Spectres have to come across. Meanwhile, Eviction Notice still with that cash across. The credits looking nice. That's a full Phantom buy-up once again. But another big gun round. Looking to see if they can get that advantage back. Meanwhile, Rangitoto, they just need to keep winning these ones, because again, if they lose one here, it just means they have to go into those half buys. They have to give up a few things here and there. So they need to try and keep getting this going, but it's been back in sort of fourth right now. Is they're going to be going back towards this kitchen area. It's actually the push through early, and I don't think he's going to be ready for this Iconic, isn't it all? Greenery's going to shut him down just like that. They've already opened up pretty much all of mid if they wanted. Arista's trying to get through, and they might be able to pick up one there, and they actually do. Greenery was falling back. Fixie goes down, but now the A side is wide open. They will get the plant here, but in doing so, they've lost 2 players. So now the 4v3 as the spike will be planted. They have to try and perform this retake Eviction Notice. They have the numbers advantage, and they're also going to get Iconic back up as well. So it's going to be a 5v3, very difficult one to hold out here for the guys on Rangitoto.
Yeah, well, Rangitoto, they do manage to still get some more side control, but the Killjoy lockdown, that's a pretty big issue. So what do? You kind of have to back up. Lazy runs onto the site. He catches the Sova shooting away. How are they not communicating where Lazy is? He's about to get a triple, and just like that. Oh, Eviction Notice, they complete the retake damn near flawlessly. That was just pure chaos, and Rangitoto, I think they got caught off guard. They weren't expecting Lazy to run onto the site that quickly. He didn't even know they were on the rafters, and it gets basically 2 free kills.
Yeah, he just ran straight in, jumped on down, and unfortunately just not watching the angles there for that one. Caton had the Hunter's Fury out, so he was completely unaware of what was going on, and he puts down 2, almost picks up Toby as well, who ends up getting finished off by his hot. And 4v3, and again, so they still have a decent enough buy here, the guys over on Rangitoto, but, I mean, Fixie, you're most likely going to be just picking up the knives, so they don't have to worry about a rifle to begin with there. McAshey's going to have that Spectre, but still a buy enough as we go into round number 8 here, and it looks like they're going to be trying to go pretty aggressive towards this A side to begin with, see if they can pick it out there. The blind out from Toby, spots Lazy, knows he's going over towards that corner there, so they keep trying to push in towards this angle. He's going to pop those knives now, trying to get towards side here, and he actually might get one. He does, he gets a Spencer with the classic there. And it's a very nice kill. That's another one onto Lazy too with the classic. Fixie feeling it right now. His hot will put him down, but not before Toby gets another one back. And all of a sudden, he's on Ryan left in a very hard situation. And Ryan's already gone just like that. Wow, run to the side, get the plant. And I mean, you don't even need a gun. Use the classic. Right spam, one tap, straight in the head. Gun's a gun. If it works, it's going to rip through you. And Rangitoto even us back up 4 apiece. Neither of these teams giving an inch at the moment.
It was really good on a Greeny's part to get onto the site and commit the Viper's Pit, but really, he didn't have to because his team were just running rampant over towards A, picking up all those kills. And if anything, you know, going fast that round for Rangitoto College, it caught Eviction Notice off guard. They just wasn't sure what was happening, and Lazy, you could see it from his point of view there. His teammate went down. He thought he was safe, hiding under that wall, expecting to take one down, but then the players of Rangitoto were already so deep onto the site. Fixie, okay, nice start, takes Iconic down to start things off, and he gets a second onto Ryan. This is going so poorly right now for Eviction Notice. They're trying to hang on to the site for dear life. The Sage Wall came up to buy some more time, but the players, they just can't get the 3 frags. Razna, as well as Lazy, they're on to try go for this retake, and that's a great start, but still, they are down they are down a player, and there are Sova shock darts lined up potentially for the close one. The resurrection as well. 4v2, things are getting worse by the second.
Revive, and also Mikashi picking up Lazy there, and it's all down to Erasna in a 1v4 location revealed as well. Some nice B-hops to get away there. Unfortunately, it's not going to be able to do much as Fixie picks up a 3rd for the round after being revived up there. Killing it on that jet, and they just burst into the side through onto B. And just went early, got the early pick, and just went running on in. Didn't stop, didn't need to stop, and they take the lead back here. 5-4, and now it's going to be Eviction Notice are going to be a bit short on the credits. Spectres and Sheriffs across the board with some half armor, even some full armor there for Lazy. Meanwhile, a nice full buy here for Rangitoto, and 3 of their players over 5,000 credits now, so they should be good for at least a couple of full buys for the next couple of rounds, even if they lose them.
Indeed. Rangitoto, they've managed to salvage their economy, and to say the very least, you know, they're in a very solid spot for this first half. They're already 5-4. One more round that guarantees them the half, and at this rate, they could potentially get more. Three-player defenders stack over towards the B side, but the attackers, look at how much confidence they're playing with. They're going deep onto the side, maintaining control, and the duelists especially, they aren't afraid to fight because you have a jet dash to escape, and of course the range to dismiss. Greeny already watching the play, full discipline here. However, he couldn't quite see Lazy, but it doesn't matter. His teammates are there to get the trade back. In a 4v2, rifles versus pistols, Iconic, he's throwing himself at them. And look at this. The refrags are instantaneous. Comms are on point. Confidence on point. Rangitoto College, they get their 6th round. First half secured.
And Fixie, the first one into double digits as well. 10 kills on the board. Been looking very nice these last few rounds. As again, we're going to have a full buy across here from the guys over on the Glen Waverley eviction notice side of things. And well, this is where things needed just an end this round here because they don't want to be losing this one. They drop this one all of a sudden. Their last round, they're probably just going to be only half buying. Most of them will throw everything out. It's probably going to be Spectres and half armor from every single player, considering how low the credits are. And all of a sudden, around or half of them are up 4-3, 4-2 even at one stage. It's going to be a 4-8, so they need to make sure they can hold this one off. As it's going to be a jumping towards A immediately here for the guys on Rangitoto. Trying to get here really aggressive. The last few rounds, it's been working out for them as well. The rotation finally coming across here as well from Iconic, so they're going to be doing it on here. Fixie up as well, but Lazy holds the ankle nicely on towards Rafters. The spike should get planted, and Gregory gets one back on his side as well as they try to get aggressive to stop that. And now they're just trying to hold the angles here. Toby gets the kill. Managed to get away with 10 HP. Makashi as well onto Ryan. Iconic finally going to get trade back, but now in a 3v2 situation. Make that Lazy. Putting in the 2v2. A nice shot with the Phantom. And he's looking around. He gets a third as well into Katon. And all of a sudden, it's left on the last player. Iconic's already putting the defuse through. He gets past halfway. And the grenade just missed as well, unfortunately. There from Greeneries, they get shut down. Lazy feeling it as well. The two jets popping off for either side. And a 5th round there. Exactly what eviction notice looked for. And now they'll try and get this last round here to make it a 6-6 first half. And just neither team is giving an inch right now, Dig.
Yeah, but then again, that round, you have to say this, right? Rangitoto College, they went onto the site, got the spike down, and what did it take for Glen Waverley to win that round? It took Lazy going absolutely monstrous, getting a quad kill, defending Iconic, who had to use a 7-point Viper's Pit just to give him some breathing space on the side and get the defuse. That was a pretty good round, despite Rangitoto College losing. Now, early B control as they secure the orb, but however, no ultimates just yet. Once again, very slow, very defaulty play, but Toby, he's got so much map control over towards A, and this could be the kicker for them to go over towards the A side. But Lazy waits and catches Toby looking the wrong way, holding the off angle, man advantage for the defense.
Yeah, nice hold there from Lazy on that off angle, and Toby really good aggression early towards that A site, unfortunately just looking the wrong way as they get on towards there. Now it looks like they're going to be heading towards this B side. 3 players on Rangitoto going as fast as possible. Meanwhile, the hold from Fixie back towards A, where they'll make their way over now. They're going to be running into 3 players though on eviction notice, and Iconic's already going to be spotting one across here. His side is in a pretty difficult position because he only has that judge, but does have the Killjoy ultimate, so you can imagine that's going to go out when the bomb on the spike does go down here, which is going to be planted by Mikashi. I say that, but the grenades in his spot land perfectly, and they're going to drop the spike. 30 seconds in a 5v3. They're getting the shot. He's going to be put down as well by Iconic, and the spike cannot get planted. The reason it goes down, and now it's all left in Fixie. They have an operator, but you're going to have to hit 5 shots right like that. Lazy not giving them a chance. They've got their 14th, and just like that, eviction even us back up at 6 apiece through the first half on Icebox, and we have got ourselves a nice little series here so far, Digital.
Yeah, indeed. The closest game we've had all day. I also want to say, in that round there, Toby, he managed to basically sneak his way over towards A. Only saw one player, by the way, and he gets taken down. And so I can understand Rangitoto College's thought process. Okay, they killed Toby, so that means they'll be rotating over, expecting it to be an A player. But however, think about it from the defender's side. They only saw one player, Reyna, sneaking onto the sites. They killed that one player and didn't hear anyone else. So why would they expect Rangitoto to even go over towards A at all? It was a very telegraphed rotation, and that's what happened. The no players went off of the B sides, and that defensive round was simply just easy, a cakewalk, flawless. You saw it. Now sides are switched. Rangitoto starting off on defense. Already the Rico now getting some intel as Katon gets thinked down just a little bit, but the rotations are coming through, and there's the Viper potentially with snake bites to buy some more time.
Iconic up there close and waiting for that ball to go down. And Fix, he's going to pick up Laser on Greenery as well. Iconic finally gets one across and Risner as well. So they managed to get this back into a 3v3 situation as Iconic getting the spike planted. That's what it looks like it's going to be. Meanwhile, on the flank here is Toby. Needs to start moving, though. It's already going down pretty closely. Ryan will be able to get some healing as well. Onto Iconic. Unfortunately, it's not going to do much as Kazan puts them down. Toby on the flank as well, so they need to start picking up some kills here. Do Ryan and Rizna, but they're not going to get anything there. Makashi and Canon moving in beautifully, and they get that job done. And they allow the plant to go down, but after that, it was a pretty easy retake in their eyes. As they get the 3 players surviving, they get that 7th. And they start off the defensive half just like they wanted to. And yeah, 2 pistol wins in a row. They get a chance now to try and get this bonus through, get a 6-8 advantage, and then try and roll on from there, even get that bonus round across. Meanwhile, Dixon notice, guys, they're going to be picking up a couple of pistols. Iconic with the Sheriff. So they did get the spike down. You could see them investing possibly a bit heavier, but as we've seen today, don't seem really wanting to go for that. If anything, they just pick up a couple of pistols and hold from there. I'm wondering at some point that they just do try getting a whole Spectre lineup across if they get the spike down. But immediately they're going in towards that A side. They're not stopping. It's going to be a quick rush by the looks of things here.
Very quick, and the defenders, if anything, they're actually starting to rotate off of this site, which is the right play. You can allow them to, take the site. You don't want to be, trying to solo hold against basically a 5-stack of pistols, because you won't be able to get a kill, and they will just, quantity over quality gun you down. Although Lazy, I don't know, man. Going a little bit too deep as he is the first place to go down. Snake bite from Green. He gets the second also Razna. And one by one, Glen Waverley beginning mowed down. All down to high shot. He has some lineups, but what good is it really? I mean, it's halfway defused and his teammates are covering him as well. The nade gets popped. He does get one onto Green. He didn't expect a little goblin hiding under him. But high shot. He's trying to hang on to the Spectre. But it's pretty crucial that he does die in this round. Fixie, where you going, mate? That's 2 free kills handed over to high shot. But look at this, Slim. He survived, but he only has a Spectre. And, okay, one of the players is going to have a Spectre, so they can't fully buy into this round. I think it's better if he died, but it is what it is.
I mean, it does allow Iconic at least to save a bit of credits across. They don't have to buy that rifle that they couldn't actually afford if they wanted to get all the utility. So now it sort of comes down to here what they want to do into this push. Again, they're looking maybe towards going to mid, trying a different one toward B, but there's 3 players sort of waiting here, and Flixie's already getting pretty aggressive early. That just holding the classic out, so they didn't buy anything after going down there. Just a bit of half armor, and Lazy, if he doesn't check this angle, this could be real big. It all comes down to when they want to push. Arisen with him as well. Lazy holding the angle there. They already know, and the sort of the distraction there from Toby, just trying to see if he can bait them into pushing towards it. Right now, they're just holding the angle. And Mikashi close as well, so it all comes down to which one goes first. It's a standoff right now. 3 players of the guys on Rangitoto versus the 2 of Eviction Notice. Yeah.
They're getting Viper over to basically throw a snake bite out, and Mikashi hears it coming from a mile away, runs away, but however, look, there's still the jet, and that's the linchpin, as Fixie does get one to Lazy, but the instant refrag from Erasmus shuts him down. Now, this is a bonus currently from Rangitoto, so them taking one good start, but Iconic, nice wallbang. Greeny didn't even know what hit him. 4v1, Lone Sova, good luck.
Yeah, Katson with the Spectre. We'll be able to at least maybe try to spot something here, but he's already been found out. The spam coming through, not hitting, and that is going to be eviction notice. They get through with all of their rifles as they pick that one up here, so the Spectre gets dropped, and now Lazy will be the only one that needs to rebuy into this. Iconic, because he did save that money on the credits across from the other round, does have 5,800, so should be able to buy his teammate there. Still got a bit of utility as well from what they saved. And now we have our first real gun round. Fixie picking up the operator on that defensive side for Rangitoto. But you look at them now, they've all been so consistent on Rangitoto. Fixie with 12, 10 each to Toby, Makashi, Granny, and Katson. Meanwhile, Lazy leading the way here for eviction notice. But Ryan needs to start picking it up. He's on that Sage, so you don't usually see Sage's big picks. You're more looking for the, after plans, hold with the walls. But just needs to help out a bit more, you'd feel, so they had the more advantage. Meanwhile, the Greens already picked up Lazy, and Iconic can get the refrag back onto Toby's. We're already into a 4v4 very early in this round.
Good start. Rangitoto once again,
I've got your
their first proper buy around on the defense. Fixie, the operator investment, I haven't really seen much impact out of it just yet, but it's crucial that he does, get a few kills with it. Otherwise, if they do bleed out and Rangitoto loses all of the players, you don't want to be saving the operator into the next round. Well, you don't want to be losing it, to say the very least. A-side has been given up. Oh, nice shock dart, but however, can't quite secure the kill. Damage has been done now. 4v4 post plants, but the Viper Spit, it's a bit of a win condition, very suffocating to push into.
4v4 retake begins. Fixie holding with that operator. Trying to see if anyone's going to peek out there. The problem is it's just angles, and they're with this Piper Pit as well. Makes it so much more difficult. Ryan is already getting one. Greeny finally getting one back there. But alright, Iconic is, and Fixie hits that one. 2v2. The opportunity is here. And it brings it down as well. But Ryan shutting down Greenery. It's all left on Fixie in a 1v2. Feeling nice with the operator over to Ryan. And now he's hot, holding that angle, trying to destroy the things around there. He's had the smoke down, trying to find them. Misses it, unfortunately, and will have to get out of that and save. So a good try there from Fixie and also Rangitoto, but unfortunately they can't pull it through. He's hot. Will clutch out the round there for eviction notice, and Glen Waverley even us back up at 8 apiece. But they do say the operator across there, which they can get into this round. The problem is the rest of his teammates here, I mean, they can invest around it, but if they do, they're going to be very short for the next round. So you imagine it's just going to be pistols, a bit of half armor, and a bit of utility. Meanwhile, eviction, they've got full buys across the Phantoms, one Vandal and Ryan, and we'll be feeling pretty nice and looking to take round number 9 and back the lead that they had halfway through that first half.
It was a really good attempt by Rangitoto College there. They managed to get the Owl drone ping onto Iconic, and then the subsequent kill, it brought down the Viper's Pit. But then again, they still lost the round overall. They did do some damage, but they lost the round. So the thing is, when you are down a player starting off in the retake, sometimes it's best to cut your losses early and just fight in the next round with basically, 3-4 rivals in your hands. This time though, looking on the eco, that's a rough situation to go up against Toby, man. Nothing he could do there. Lazy, duking around with the Phantom, just has the advantage in every situation. Rangitoto College already losing a player off the bat, but Mikahashi with the Spectre takes down Lazy at a reasonable distance as well. Okay, this round could still have some potential.
Yeah, it's going to be Mikahashi as well, sitting with that Spectre. So there's an opportunity here. They want to do some of that. We're looking towards that B side eviction, but now they're going to be heading back towards A, where there's just Canton sitting at the moment. Fixie as well with that operator. If they get there in time, they might be able to catch one before they get into the side. It looks like they should have it down here in this situation. Fixie goes on out. He sees one there. Unfortunately, can't hit him. The Risner's already picked up. Gets on 4v3 as the spike starts to go down. His side is pretty low with 5 HP out towards the back. But unfortunately, they're not going to be able to challenge them. Actually, they have to come through this A main area. Risner's head spot by Greenery can't quite hit it though, as Fixie trying to span through the walls there. Unfortunately, can't quite hit it. Now it's just left with him and Mikahashi in this 2v4. He spots them again. He keeps seeing them, just not quite landing it here for Fixie. Mikahashi will take down a Risner, but Iconic going to shut them down immediately, keeping it in a 3v1. And now going for Fixie again, despite look to save this operator if they can. They've got the knives for next round as well if they want to use them. Maybe they look to maybe get an exit frag, but I doubt they're going to be heading in that direction. Anyway, I was saying that Iconic's actually gone searching, and he's actually going to take down Fixie as well. So the operator has dropped. Yep. And it doesn't look like they'll be able to rebuy one into the next round either, unless they have to sacrifice a whole lot of stuff. I don't think they have enough money anyway. So they will be able to get the full buy across, but Fixie pretty low, only 1,450 credits. So you imagine... Yeah, so I feel like there might have been a gun drop there, but I imagine it's probably Spectre, or you just, well, they have the knives, so you can save that money across. And Ryan now has got himself the operator, meanwhile, over towards the attacking side of eviction notice. 3 in a row. If they claim this one here, they'll start to get that gap going, and it's really going to start hurting Rangitoto as their credits not looking too great economy-wise yet.
It's very well played by Iconic using the smoke orb over towards mid. So once that goes up, right, you have to basically commit a player over towards defending kitchen, and that's where a killjoy on defense comes in handy. You can autonomously defend it. On the flip side though, Fixie, when he had the operator on defense, I think it would have been beneficial, especially him being Jet, to push aggressively mid and go for that deep angle and maybe get a pick with the operator. Otherwise, just commit to a site, because that's where the attackers will have to commit to eventually. It's very rare to see like a mid to site take on Icebox. Through kitchen, maybe, but it doesn't happen a lot. Most of the side takes on Icebox are purely over from B main or A, and this time it's going to be A. And look at how deep they're going right now. Lazy going for more, and someone gets the drop onto Katon. The defenders 3v5, man. I mean, they have a res, but maybe they should count their losses. This is a really rough round to get back into.
Already the spike planted as well. Looking at angles, Ryan gets Toby now on the operator, and 5v2. Lazy enough. Mikahashi left with it all to do. That's already picked up 2, but already at less than half HP. Getting flanked here from Lazy as well. 3k in the round, 19 overall. And now Eviction starting to get this gap wider and wider. 10 rounds on the board. They're going to be coming into this round with another full buy. Meanwhile, it's going to be Rangitoto. They can push into this one if they want. They are doing with a sort of half buy here, but they can't get the full rifles across. They can't get the full utility or armor, so it's going to make it difficult. And they lose this one. All of a sudden, it's 11-8, and they've lost 5 on the trot. So something needs to change for them here. Unless that starts going, it's going to be, well, could be a roll on the way for Eviction to close out this map of Icebox.
Looking at what the buy is right now, right? Eviction, they're probably going to get 11 to 8. I mean, against a half scrappy buy of Rangitoto, you can't really expect Rangitoto to get anything done. And plus, look at that, the turret placement, it's so good! Far back, and they're holding these defensive angles, expecting Rangitoto, who's already on an eco, to push aggressively. And that's exactly what happened. They read into that perfectly. One pick on the defenders. There's only one over towards B. Lazy takes down Toby, and the execute over towards B side. It's basically guaranteed now. 3v5 with scrappy guns. It's a very tall order.
Yeah, and also you look at that, his shot is coming in towards A as well. He's still out there just looking around to see if there'll be a flank in that way. We'll say that. Risen does get a bit of attack up onto themselves as Iconic goes for that spike plant. Pixie, if he just goes around the corner, I was about to say Lazy was going to spot them, but Ryan's going to get the job done first, and here comes his on that flank, puts down, gets on. Lazy takes that ground around, a flawless round there against a half buy from the Eviction Notice guys. 11 to 8, 5 on the trot. And now this gun round becomes ever so important here for Rangitoto. They drop this, all of a sudden they have to do another half buy in towards 4 map points. So it's going to be very difficult. This needs to come through. Fixie picking up the operator again. Only half armor for Mikashi as well. So they just need to sort of get these opening pick and not allow these pushes onto the side. Maybe even just try and go aggressive. You were saying Fixie needed towards mid. They're going to stake grenades again with that operator. And if they're going to do it, they need to make sure they can get a pick early here.
This is it. This is it. He's holding the right angle. Just has to hit the shot. Give his team the man advantage early on. Easy. Perfect. Ryan being the Sage as well going down. That's the Resurrection out of the picture. That's the Sage Walls. That's the Slow Orbs gone. Precious Util gone. Fixie looking for more, but when the rifle goes down, it doesn't even have to go down. Lazy just walks right through it and takes down Fixie. There was no one else on Rangitoto on defense to basically play on site and support him. That, in my opinion, was a small blunder.
Yeah, just no one there with him, unfortunately, and the spike looking like it'll be starting to go down. It's going to be a 4v4 retake, mate. The 3 though, as Toby gets 1-2 for Toby. Kaki Fixie back up. His hot will put down Greenery, so it's a 4v2 situation, but here's hot. Oh, bringing them back in towards this one. Here, a second on that operator. And all of a sudden, Toby just in an awkward position, but Iconic holding that onto Mikashi. Stopping that spike plant, and all of a sudden, oh no, 2v2. Just like that, we thought for a second here it was going to be Rangitoto picking this one up. Fixie pushing through, and Iconic puts them down. And what has happened? Oh no, Rangitoto, as the bomber's going to start a rotation as well towards B. And Toby can really do nothing about it, as that one's still up as well. The smoke integrity will fade away, and he'll realize what's going on. But a round that they looked like they had under control, and he's hot and Iconic. They bring it all the way back here for the guys over on the Glen Waverley, and now Toby has to go absolutely huge in a 1v2, and he is nowhere near the B side.
The Rangitoto College, they jumped the gun because they were on defense. The attackers, yes, you had a Viper's Pit down, but you still have to commit to the spike plants. And they just ran right in there. They got picked off one by one. High shot as well, just holding a passive angle, but getting all these frags. And look at that. Oh, Toby, man, 1v2, it's so rough. There's so many ways that could have gone wrong. Maybe he could have isolated the two 1v1s, but to push blindly without any smokes over towards B against a Vandal, a Phantom and an Operator, that's already rough enough as it is, because the trade potential is so good for Glen Waverley. Plus, you know, to top things off even more, in that round, if it wasn't the Viper who got the spike plant, and instead it was the Killjoy, that would have been the Killjoy lockdown online and available instead to basically guarantee that previous round, or potentially to play into match points. Just you know, hindsight. But now match point, Glen Waverley looking really strong here, and it's a really scrappy buy like he talks about a while ago for Rangitoto, and this could be the end of map 1.
They were up 8-6. They won the first 2 rounds of this defensive half. They looked like they could be pushing this one through an icebox, but just like that, Eviction Notice, they've turned it on. 6 on the trot here, and they're already towards this A side. They need to try and stop them here. They're just straight in, and Risen's already won. Foxy does the train back into a Risner at least. And that's a 4v4 situation.
They're going so deep, they aren't afraid to fight, and that's what's getting them these round wins, especially on Icebox versus the previous teams, and now as well. Finally, they're starting to strike back, and now Catan, last player standing, only a Spectre, and Eviction Notice. They keep piling bodies over bodies onto them, and that's it. Done and dusted, 13-8. I'm pretty sure they ran almost a flawless sweep in the second half there, almost. They lost maybe the pistol round or something, but then towards the end there, 1, 2, 3, 7 rounds back to back. My goodness, man.
Yeah, just like that. I mean, they lost the pistols. They lost that bonus round that they had the opportunity to get across there for eviction. But I mean, yeah, after that, every gun round, every single major round in that second half, they had an attack. They just did so with absolute ease. They were feeling it right there. And Lazy, of course, 25 and 14, absolutely huge there for eviction notice in the end. And 16 and 17 for Fixie, was doing what he could on that jet, but towards the end was just getting shut down. I mean, all the players on Rangitoto just couldn't get anything done towards that second half side, which was very unfortunate for them because they looked really good there. They had the advantage, they had the 2 rounds up, and I mean, you're always going to be really difficult to try and win that third one. Start on defensive, you've sort of got a half buy in towards that full buy. But after that, they just really couldn't get into any rounds. And the one that we thought they did have in a 4v2 situation on that round when it was 11 to 8, they get that one back. All of a sudden, it's 11 to 9. We might be speaking a different story. We're probably still going with the map, and we're still going on and possibly even pushing towards that overtime area. But as it turns out, it's going to be the guys over on eviction notice picking that up 13 to 8. And yeah, a solid second half there. You can't really say much more about it. They looked absolutely pristine there.
Yeah, and however, in this matchup, Rangitoto, they are starting to really push eviction notice kind of to their, I wouldn't say to their limit, but they're bringing more out of them. It's good to see the both Jets on opposite teams, really open things up and getting those first bloods. 5 on each Jet, but Lazy, of course, carrying through that momentum. Like you said earlier, really having a good game on Icebox. So hopefully we do get to see a map 3 because we are going for a short break before going to map 2, which is Bind. Guys, don't go away just yet. I'm Digital Cast, and of course, Has Daddy Slim with me. This is Meta HSE Valorant, sponsored by Optus, Torrent University, and MSI.